Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. The sea is calling you. So, this video is talking about what jobs to apply on ships. But the best way I thought it would be better that I had explained to you what are the positions which are there on ship is to tell you what are the things the cruise lines offer guests. So you can decide about what are the kind of specializations that you would like to apply for. So in this video, I'm going to look at each division and tell you what are the positions which are majorly known in those divisions. Generally very common, different names, different cruise lines, but at the end of the day, we look at ensuring that we understand what are those specializations. Now, this is only a general video, but the videos which will follow up will have exactly what each division is broken down into. All right, so don't forget to subscribe, because only then can you know what are the next channels which are coming in and what are the videos which I'll be updating there. So please ensure that you click on that subscribe button and join me on this adventure. Thank you so much, and let's just jump into our program.
Wow, this is amazing. And that's exactly what every guest feels when they walk into a cruise ship. That feeling of ensuring that wow factor comes out for every guest is what cruise lines are all about. They build ships with one beating the other. All right. So talking about the smaller ship, or this one that you see over here is Harmony of the Seas, the biggest in the world. What really matters is that what is the experience of the guest who walks into each of those ships. So today, like I was telling you, we're going to look at all those experiences which the guest will face. But how are those experiences accomplished by jobs and positions on board? And that's what you want to know. What are the careers that we can build on a ship, right? So let's just jump into the first one there, and that is definitely why do they cruise? Guests cruise because they want to see places. Yes, this is not that time of the years where we used to have people go on ocean liners to travel from one continent to the other or from one side of the world to the other. Now it's all about holiday cruising. So what is the destinations that the cruise lines offer matters the most for guests to choose. So how do they accomplish this traveling as such? Yes, everybody knows the fact that the cruise ships are floating hotels. Yes, they are. But the floating part is very important. Who makes that happen? Who makes that movement from one destination to the other? Thank you, Captain. The master of the ship gets you from one destination to the other, right? Okay, but he doesn't do it by himself. He's got his deck and engine department. So let's look at that department quickly. Who runs the deck department? The position called staff captain. He has a whole team from navigation side, from the deck maintenance of the ship, from security of the ship. There's a lot of positions there. For the deck department, the entry level positions are generally as cadets into the navigation team. And when you come into the deck maintenance team, you have junior seamen who are hired directly into that position. So those are the two entry positions that you would find in most of the shipping companies. The other position that is generally also under the deck department is security. So if you have some background and if you have passed some basic background from the police or from the Navy or from any of the armed forces, a security job is a good option entry level into cruise lines. All right. So this is one of those positions where you can directly apply as a security staff or a security guard and then go up the ranks in the security department. Apart from that, the engine department as well. All right. So we have the chief engineer who is the overall in charge of the ship's engine systems. He has a chief electrical engineer. There's also a refrigeration engineer looking after the HVAC department. And most importantly, then you have the staff chief engineer or the second engineer, second in command, who looks after the entire the engine department as such, with those huge engines running. So entry level positions for the engine department. Generally, into all of these separate sections, they have the cadet program for officers and engineers to try directly into. Apart from that, if you were to try into the motorman or the junior engine man position as well, the electrician position, and also we have refrigeration engineer positions as well. So these are positions which you can definitely apply into directly to get into a cruise ship. These two, apart from deck and engine, there's also the environmental position, which looks after the environmental conditions and ensuring that the ship follows the environmental guidelines set by different parts of the world. That's one position that I've seen a lot of times that they directly hire people with environmental degrees. Those are the positions which you can apply if you are on land right now and want to get onto a ship also. All right. Uh, okay. Just a sideline about the cadet program. Various companies have already made tie-ups with certain colleges to directly take cadets from those ships, from those colleges to the ships. But doesn't stop that from you applying for those positions. Please go ahead and try to apply. Once you go online, you can see options for applying for cadet program there. The next one that we have is definitely what makes the guests go wow. The first day they walk into deciding whether they want to do a 6-day cruise, a 5-day cruise, a 3-day cruise, or a world cruise which goes for a couple of months. So the options that they get is the kind of rooms that they get on a ship. So from interior room all the way to a balcony room, all the best of all the suites as well. So let's look at how does the rooms division work. So we have the guest services department, or what you generally know in a hotel as the reception. And on the other side, you also have something called the housekeeping department, which ensures the maintenance and the upkeep and the wow factor into the rooms. So the housekeeping department is also one that you can apply for. So rooms division, talking about guest services, or what we call as reception, for a lot of people offers a one-point contact for our guests when they come on board. So they have some questions, they need something, they all go to the guest services or the reception area, right? Okay, so if you are interested in that position, this is one of the positions which we generally do not hire directly from outside, because there is a certain amount of things that you need to learn about ships. And being there on your first day of the job is not going to be easy. So what they generally do is moreover internal promotions. But hey, I'm not stopping you from applying. There are people who are hired directly. And this is where you need to ensure that you try and put in the best foot forward. Like I said, in one of the videos, which I'll be talking about room division in detail, we'll slide in some good tips about how do you ensure you apply for that position and get into that role in guest services. The second one that we have is definitely the housekeeping department, right? So how do we get into housekeeping department? Various entry points to start with your career and reach all the way to a chief housekeeper or even a hotel director in the future. So what you need to do is apply for a position there. Generally, entry-level positions for housekeeping is cleaners, public area cleaners, or even pool attendants. Those are the positions where you can directly get into. There's also laundry, where you can apply and get into as a laundry master or a laundry attendant. Again, depends on what background you have in the housekeeping department, right? So that's one of those things you can directly do. Generally, not rooms attendant. If you have currently working as a room attendant and ensuring that you have that same profile, unfortunately, the expectations on ships are slightly different from when it comes to land. So you would rarely find people being hired directly as a room attendant. So your experience working on land is critical when you apply for positions. But at the end of the day, you may not be getting into directly into the position that you need. But once you get on the ship, folks, you have an opportunity to develop into the role that you want to go into, right? So do not hesitate. If you see a position for a housekeeping open for a cleaner, go ahead and apply for it, okay? So talking about guest services and housekeeping is part of the rooms division. Okay, let's go into the most limelight-filled position on the ship, and that is the entertainment department. Yes, the entertainment department is one of those departments that is very much the top of the order, right? Okay, a lot of guests come on board to enjoy the beautiful entertainment offered by these amazing cruise lines, all right? Some cruise lines have gone all the way of making their own production company. They produce their own shows and put them on the ship for guests to enjoy them. And so, how do you apply for those jobs? One is directly with the production company, wherein we have those production companies which are performing in different parts of the United States. They have a campus in Florida for Royal Caribbean, same for Norwegian. They have some amazing shows which happen there. So you can apply for cast as singers, as dancers, as performers in a show. Those are direct applications that can be done directly. And also some of the companies do not run their own production shows, are hire a certain company to do that, a third party company. Again, a good opportunity there to apply if you are interested in a career in entertainment on board. And let me tell you, these shows they put up is equivalent to, I would say, very much like any Broadway show. Okay, so Apart from the front of the entertainment department, there's also the side support, which is the technical department. It's great to apply for those positions. If you have a background in light and sound technician, stage technician, this is one role which is very much sought after. The company is looking for the great performers who know about light and sound and technical background. All right, so let's ensure that you understand that entertainment is not really about the front but also the side support, right? So ensure that you do that. Also, if you are a musician and you would like to, or you're an orchestra or a party band, it's a good opportunity as well for you to apply for. A lot of times where all these ships provide standalone performances, you can either apply for a guest entertainer or you can apply to become a full-time musician on board. All right, yes, this is the biggest department on the ship when it comes to ensuring that the guests are served food and beverages of their choice. The F&B department is the topmost, right? All right, so let's look at this department. The first one is the food section, the food service department, and the food production department. So what happens is that guests, when they come on board, it is a major factor of their satisfaction without of how the food is served and how the food is made on board. So the food service department is headed by the restaurant manager, and the entry level position for a food service department generally is that of an attendant and what we call as a table attendant, or different positions they are called on board, and also is the assistant waiter, or what we call the support waiter. Generally, waiter positions are not directly hired because of the fact that the expectation is slightly different from what the expectation is on when they are on land. So getting into a position of an attendant or an assistant waiter will help you get into that waiter position, because that is the position which gets you the money, right? So let's look at ensuring to get into these positions. You may want to have a background in hotel management, or you would have worked in restaurants before with a good experience on land with hotels, right? So you can go ahead and apply for the food service department. Again, like I said, one of the biggest department on the ship is the food service department. A lot of opportunities there, good level of entry, and then getting into the position which you want in the future. The second one is the food production, or what they call it on ships. They call it galley and not the kitchen. So the galley has the executive chef who is in charge of the department, but in the end of the day, the entry level positions generally are as commis 3, specifically into pastry, or sometimes into butchery or pantry. Those are the levels where they get into, or the main galley as such, right? So what happens is that if you have a background in food production, in kitchens on land, if you have passed your college degree in food and beverage, a good opportunity to apply for if you'd like to become a chef. Again, experience is critical. If you have previous experience as working in the kitchen, it's the best way to get into the ship. Also, one more department which is part of that is the sanitation department, which includes ensuring the upkeep, maintenance, and definitely the dishwash and the pot wash of a ship. Again, entry level position. This is one position wherein the experience required is very minimal, or I would say basic requirements there, entry level positions. And there's so many positions and times that people have entered into that role and moved into different roles of the ship. One most commonly found position opening that you will find in any website for cruise ships will be the galley steward. This is basically the position which ensures that the galley is supported. But in the end of the day, this is not a one-time position. Get into the role of a galley steward, and then the horizons are open for you to apply for various positions. So that's my tip for you through this video to get into the ships as well. Look at that. Doesn't that look refreshing? It's a beautiful sunny day, but this drink, man, I would have that right now. And that is provided by the beverage department, right? So if you have experience working in the bar, you're currently a bartender or a bar server in a bar on land, this is one division you want to apply, and that is the beverage department. Headed by the beverage manager, this department is one which is the busiest for the guests, right? They are there to ensure that they have a fun time, and you would be on your top running and ensuring that every beverage, every order is taken and served with. The entry level position is that of a bar server, or also as a bar steward. These are support functions for the bartender to perform. Again, bartender positions are not directly hired generally. They are internally promoted. So here's your opportunity to ensure that you apply and make a career on ships by applying for that role, right? Okay, so that's the beverage department. Again, good earning department. This is one of those roles where I am sure people have made a fortune working in those positions for years on cruise ships. So don't lose the opportunity if you find that position open on any of the career websites, which I'll be talking in one of my next upcoming videos. Go ahead and apply for that position. Again, if you have experience working in bar, but that position is not open, don't hesitate in applying for any other role like for that in the food and beverage department, and then switch over into the bar. All right, so we've covered the biggest departments on a ship, which includes the travel destinations as such. Who makes that happen? The marine department. Yes, the deck and engine makes sure that those are met with. The rooms division we spoke about. We spoke about how housekeeping and guest services have entry positions there. The entertainment department, which is not only the cast but also the technical support team. And then we spoke about the massive food and beverage department. Obviously, because it's massive, there's going to be a lot of opportunities there for you to apply. All right. So with this, I'm going to close my video right now of part one of what jobs can you find on ships. But this doesn't stop you from putting more comments. All right. So part two would have more specifically talking about revenue departments and administrative roles that you can apply for. So go ahead and put in your comments for me to know how did you like this video or what would you like to hear more about. Okay. And with that, thank you very much, folks. And as I always say, listen, the sea is calling you.